ticket and going to Dubai. Before you think about, going to all these exotic destinations all around the world, the question is that, have you actually visited Ghana? Do you know Ghana? Don't forget that the month of March is Ghana month, and we are just going to show you everything authentically Ghanaian. From the food we eat, to the clothing we wear, and even to the language we speak. So I'm going to say that in this Ghana month, have you tried as much as possible to speak your mother tongue very well? But the last time somebody dared me and said, "Ni, how much of your mother tongue can you speak?" Cafe, nine. Well, I can speak my mother tongue very, very well. Well, let me surprise you. Yenti ano nyabe olese benye donkusu yoyo nambe Dr. Nia yi Solomon. Fia Z 101.9 FM ya. Yeah, every Saturday je bi avakpom le fia mi le ponupo so tourism inti. They in shockibo. I hope I have surprised you.
Don't be caught up in greed. No matter what you do, the rich man dies. No matter what you say, the poor man dies.
So on our destination deep dive today, we are looking at the Keta Lagoon. I mean, for those of you who do not know, the Keta Lagoon is located in the Volta region of Ghana, stretching between Keta, Anglonga, and surrounding coastal communities along the Gulf of Guinea. It forms part of the Anglong-Keta Lagoon complex. Now, why does this lagoon matter? It matters because it's Ghana's largest lagoon. The Keta Lagoon is the largest lagoon in Ghana, covering about 300 square kilometers during peak water levels. It's a major ecological zone and an important wetland system in Ghana. Now, why is this a Ramsar site or a wetland site? Now, the lagoon is designated as a Ramsar site, meaning it is an internationally recognized for its importance as a wetland ecosystem. It supports migratory birds, especially between September and March. It's also used for fish breeding grounds, mangrove ecosystems, and for bird watchers and ecotourists. It's actually one of the favorite places you should visit when you're in Ghana. And even for those who go for domestic tourism and all of that, you need to stop at the Keta Lagoon. Now, there are a lot of tourism experiences you can have on the lagoon. You can do a canoe or a boat ride. Yeah, basically, visitors can take lagoons, the canoe rides through the lagoon, interacting with local fishermen, exploring mangrove-lined waterways. And also for fishing, the lagoon sustains vibrant fishing communities. Watching traditional fishing methods gives tourists insight into local livelihood. And Dunstan Guba with us today. Mr. Guba is actually a cyber intelligence lead of the Ghana Police Service. He's also a lecturer at the Detective Training Academy of the Ghana Police Service, where he oversees instructions in cybersecurity or cybercrime investigations and digital forensics. Mr. Dunstan plays a central role in Ghana's national cybersecurity ecosystem, leading high-impact forensic investigations, cyber intelligence operations, and inter-agency collaborations with global partners such as Meta Platforms, Interpol, and the FBI. Charlie, you know, busy. The guy portfolio be big. He's also the host of Cybercrime Alert on Ghana Police TV and a national program raising public awareness on digital safety and cyber resilience. His expertise in different analysis, penetration testing, mobile forensics are all very important. He was second runner-up and won a silver medal at the Interpol Digital Security Challenge 2025 held in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. He's currently not a gentleman to play with, actually. Charlie, the guy is loaded. He's very simple, very quiet. If you are connecting with us on Facebook, you can actually see him right here in the studios. Mr. Guba, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Yeah, good afternoon. You're so busy. Thank God we're able to find you today. I mean, we are honored to have you, you know, with your knowledge with Interpol, with every Ghana police and all the things you do. Tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, I just read some small bio, but I'm sure that there's still a lot more for us to unpack.
So, as you just mentioned, I'm Dunstan Guba and I work in law enforcement. And one unique thing I can say about myself is I'm passionate about digital safety because now every crime happening has an element of for women and children in particular, since they are the most vulnerable in the society. So yeah.
So we'll go into our conversation for today, but I just want to also and let our listeners know a little bit about you. But if you're listening to us, you can connect with us on 0544321019, 0544321019. You can send your comments and all of that. Or you can also follow me on social media. You can send your questions to @Papani on X, PAPAHNII @Papani on X, or on Instagram. You can do that at Niisol, NIISOL, and I'll be very happy to read your comments on the show. Or those who also connect with me on Facebook is Niai Solomon, and send all your comments from all these many platforms, and we'll be happy to read your comments. Let's start. Let's get to know you a little bit. Like, what got you into this space? Is it out of curiosity or what is it?
So I wouldn't say I got to this field by mistake, but I was exposed to things happening to people that I felt it was unjust. Actually, growing up.
Oh, unjust.
Yes.
Okay.
Growing up, like our parents will always want us, you either become a lawyer or a doctor or a nurse or something of that sort.
Yeah.
So I actually wanted to become a medical doctor, but I realized that I had an experience with scam. I witnessed somebody being scammed and the person lost her life. And so I was interested. How do I find these people? Because it was very difficult for the police to find these people who caused that. So I started doing my research. How can I uplift myself or grow myself in such a way that I can help find these people? Then I realized that cybersecurity is the field for me to equip myself well to be able to find people and bring criminals hiding on the internet to book. Yeah, so that is actually what inspired me. And
That's
to date, I'm still finding the people, unfortunately.
Well, that's very impressive. I mean, and this is a tourism and hospitality show. When you hear of tourism safety, what comes in mind? As a security expert like yourself.
I think we always think tourism is about physical infrastructure, being visiting places, going to new places, finding out new environments and all that. But I really think it transcends beyond that. It has to do with the culture of the people where you are visiting, their freedom, their rights. It has to do with their expression. And so once we get to understand that tourism transcends all these physical things that we think, going to, let's say you go to Kintampo Waterfalls, you enter the community, you are just interested in the falls, and that is it. You forget that you are in a new environment, their culture, what freedoms are there, what rights are there to enjoy. When you meet people, how is their language like, how is their demeanor like? These are things we need to understand. Then we will have a better appreciation to how to protect these rights and freedom as we enjoy the sightseeing and all that.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a friend who is actually listening to this show. He's actually a manager of a hotel. You know that when this incident happened, and for those who are listening to us, we are discussing tourism safety and security, and basically with the backdrop or a background to the Russian guy who visited Ghana and recorded inappropriate videos of some young women, and posted them on social media. I have one of the things that happened in the video was a hotel. I don't know whether she was a front desk personnel or a front office manager or of a sort, who this guy also sort of was able to find his way with him. So I have this friend who is a hotel manager. He sends me this message to ask you that how can hotels protect guest data? That's personal information, payment details, Wi-Fi use, and what practical steps should be put in place to also check these guests and be sure that they are not criminals, or they are not coming in to do inappropriate things like what happened during that particular incident.
Yes, so I think that in Ghana we have regulators who are expected to make sure that certain activities or certain standards are upheld.
Yeah.
And in this space, one of the regulators for our data is the Data Protection Authority.
Yeah.
And they have their own laws, which is the Data Protection Act. And the Act says that a holder of an infrastructure, just to summarize certain aspects, is entitled to keep personal data of individuals. So
they hold it in trust.
They hold it in trust, and they make sure that they're able to verify and protect it from unauthorized access.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, what kind of data are these operators keeping or making sure that they get from visitors using their facility?
Yeah.
And we have to look at how is the data being kept? How is the efficiency of that data when it comes out that the person is wanted by the police or the person commits crime? In most instances, I see people go to locations and they in fact, they misbehave. And then law enforcement will go back requesting for data of those individuals, and then the hotel management or they don't have relevant data. Even if they have relevant data, the person would have given a fake document. So now it's a digital world. Yeah. Everything can be forged, and then they give it out, and then we become handicapped. Law enforcement become handicapped because they are not able to find these people, and then it becomes a worry. So I really think that we need to start looking at the kind of information that hotel operators or managers receive or collect from individuals lodging in their facility, and how are they able to verify the authenticity of those documents.
This is a very difficult issue for them, I think, because if I am checking into a hotel and I even give my passport and they scan my passport like they always do a copy of it, I fill relevant information, put my signature there and everything, how would they know the intention for which I'm lodging at the place? What if I'm coming to lodge there, I have equipment, like we watch in the movie, I'm a sniper, I want to shoot from that angle. Like, how would the hotel be able to verify that this guy is a dangerous guy, like this Russian guy who came in? All the hotels he slept in, how would these people be able to tell that this is the true motive of this individual who has come in?
So from experience, when you visit facilities, mostly we see that they have this door you have to pass through. So it's a magnetic detector. So it basically checks for weapons. But we are here saying technology is far advanced, right? And we need to verify, do deeper checks. We forget that people don't really need weapons to commit crimes. So with your preamble, you mentioned about the Russian guy and all that. If we had a device that could detect a hidden camera or a spy camera, it would have been better if we used those devices at these facilities, so that the guests using these facilities, their luggages or they themselves can be scanned of these hidden cameras and hidden spy cameras. If we're able to know that, we know that, okay, this person, we've checked with our magnetic detector, we realize that the person doesn't have a weapon, but then realize that the person is having a pen that is capable of making secret recording, that is capable of recording audios. We would have realized that the person is using a smart spectacle that is capable of recording videos and all that. But then we don't have systems in place. From what I see where I sit, we don't have systems in place to check those things. And so verifying the authenticity of these things become very, very, very difficult. So I always say that once something doesn't exist and we realize that eventually it has become a problem, Ghana, typically we are used to the incident happening, reacting, which is so bad. Now we need to start the discussion on how we're able to verify individuals who uses these hotel facilities. Now we know that the bank, when you go with your Ghana card, the bank is able to verify.
They can pull out your data.
Pull out the data from NIA. Now, is there a system in place for these hotel managers to verify whether this person has a criminal record, whether this person has something of important or relevant that they need to alert authorities about?
During for most of my mini travels, one of the francophone countries, I can say for a fact that they are very strict on these things. Like you're checking into a hotel, you go to a full scanner. They hear PPP, you come back.
Yes.
They ask you what is there.
Exactly.
Can we see?
Yes.
You show them.
Yes.
You put it down. Go through it again.
Yes.
It's very thorough. It's very thorough, and they make sure that. And they, in fact, them. I can tell you. I don't know whether because it's a government hotel, but if you go to a place like Togo, De Frivier, which is one of the top hotels in Togo, they actually scan the bags like you're going to an airport. They scan through the whole bag and make sure that everything in the bag is okay. Same at hotels Harakawa. Maybe these two hotels are government hotels, and so they make sure that. But I have seen that. Even recently, we slept in Golden Tulip in Cotonou. It was almost the same thing. So I think maybe the French-speaking countries, because they get a lot of these invasions coming from other places, they try as much as possible to manage the security issues.
I think so. But you and I will agree that when you visit 20 hotels in Accra, you won't get the same experience.
No. Even the top hotels.
Yes, that's even the top hotels. And I have a personal experience. Maybe I would want to share.
Okay.
I visited a very popular hotel, and then I was made to wait to go through the security, the magnetic scanner and all that. And there was a foreigner by me. The queue was quite long, so they just told the foreigner to enter inside with the bag. And so I prompted the security, what will make you check me and then not make you check the foreigner? Because from the service that was rendered from the time I got down from my car to the time I got to the entrance, I don't think the foreigner, I received 50% of what a foreigner would have received, in terms of customer service and all that. And so I was asking myself, so just imagine this foreigner has something inside the bag. I mean, they just let the person pass.
Yeah.
And trust me, you won't be treated the same way in their country.
No, you have to go through. And let me also ask, how do cyber risk affect tourist experience? Maybe from booking to checking out. Example is fake booking sites, payment scams, phishing scams, all these cyber security issues.
I think that the conversation of cyber security is now people are getting the idea of cyber security, the need to be safe online, the fact that, I mean, you don't believe whatever you see on the internet. I always tell people to verify and try to authenticate everything you see online, because it's a virtual world. You don't see people behind these accounts, and so you don't just see a random link and just interact on it. And I say Ghanaians, a lot of us, we want easy ways
public Wi-Fi's and all that.
Public Wi-Fi's and all that. When we go online and realize that, okay, let's say you want to buy an iPhone, and then there's an ad saying that there's an iPhone costing, let's say, our budget was 10,000, but I realize that there's an ad that has pop up that there's a giveaway of an iPhone. Tap on the iPhone and pay like 5,000. I will tell you that 50% of individuals who will see these kind of ads would react to it.
Yeah.
Simply because it's cheap, simply because they don't want to verify the authenticity of some of these things. And I always tell people that try to always make sure that whatever you are doing online, you go the extra mile to authenticate it.
Right.
And there are so many ways we can authenticate things. You can ask if, let's say, you are to buy from a shop online and you know that the shop has a physical location. Make sure you go to the physical location to make sure that they are who they say they are.
Right.
If you meet someone and the person is telling you that he wants to be in a relationship with you, or send me your pictures, let's have a video call and tell you to get naked, or let me see your hand, those aspects. Just be sure that 90% of these incidents, they are all fake, right? Yeah. With the emergence of AI and deepfake technology, whatever, any video you see, you mustn't say that it is indeed a real person.
Right. Yes. We are joined online we're joined by phone call by Fuseni Nawaru. Fuseni is the CEO of Auza Tours. He's a tour operator in Ghana. We also want to pick his perspective on this matter. Good afternoon, Mr. Fuseni.
Good afternoon, Doc, and your listeners and the panel.
How are you doing, my brother? How are you doing, Fuseni? Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Fuseni, let me ask you. You heard about, we are discussing tourism and security and all. You are one of the big guns in the tourism and hospitality space in Ghana. Let me find out from you, this incident about this Russian who came in a couple of weeks ago and all this brouhaha that took place on social media. Do you think that it has dented the Ghanaian brand?
The Ghanaian brand may be dented in one way or the other, but it depends on who is looking at it. But all in all, Ghana, we don't promote sex tourism.
Right.
And this kind of stuff, definitely when it comes in, it tends to sway people. But fortunately for us, our market is not looking at more of the European, but we are more of the heritage and the cultural stuff. So it might have affected it in one way or the other.
But don't you think that with this incident that has happened, of course, in West Africa, when we talk about sex tourism, Gambia is one of the names that come to mind. But don't think with what happened, don't you think that this would give a lot of foreigners and Europeans the mind that it is very easy to get a Ghanaian woman, so let's troop into the country and let's just come in for these purposes? And don't you think that though we promote cultural and historical tourism, from your perspective, do you not think that this would actually throw some light into one of the S in tourism, which is sex tourism?
Really, but even with our December in Ghana, it's a bit about that aspect in it. But all we have to do is it's about policy. What kind of policies are we putting down? What kind of promotion are we putting out there that would sway people's mind towards what Ghana is offering?
Right. I know you're busy and you're at the airport right now, but let me quickly find out from you. As a tour operator, do you do a background check on the tourists you bring into this country? If you have a group that is coming to the country, do tour operators do a thorough check on them before selling your packages to them?
Yes, we do. Doc, we do a lot of background checks, especially people who I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never handled you before. Definitely, I would have to do background checks. When this Russian guy was in town, we were also handling one influencer from Spain.
Okay. He
sent us a message, and apparently, when the first time I read the email, I was like, okay, I didn't mind.
Hello.
Background checks on him.
Okay.
And I realized he had a lot of followers. He had traveled to a lot of countries. I checked what he did in other countries.
Hello, Mr. Fuseni. Sorry, we lost you at some point.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Can you reiterate what you just said briefly?
I'm saying, when this Russian guy was around,
yeah,
we were also hosting a Spanish influencer.
Yeah.
And this influencer, when he sent us the first email, in fact, we thought it was one of these influencers who wanted free tours around Ghana.
Right.
So we have to go into detailed research about him, and we realized he had a lot of followers.
Right.
So in our bid to also promote Ghana, we also offered him free tour
Okay.
of Cape Coast, Accra, Volta region.
Okay.
And immediately he left. 2 days later, we heard about this Russian guy.
Right.
So I even when I posted his picture and videos, one of the videos online, people were like, "You are also coming here to do this thing or do that." But we also need these influencers
Yeah, we
to
do.
promote our country.
Like I show Speed came in and
Like
I mean,
Speed came in.
yeah, yeah.
Now, if I tell you the number of requests that come in for shea butter massage and waterfall massage, it will surprise you.
Right. Right.
So we need influencers. So we can't thoroughly do away with them, but we have to do a background check of whoever influencer is coming in to make sure we have the right influencers coming in.
Okay.
Maybe he may have decided not to use a tour operator.
Yeah.
He would like to come on his own.
Yeah.
And this onus lies on the government to make sure that if people are coming to our country for tourism purposes, we need to make checks of who is coming in.
Yeah.
If you are coming in as a tourist, which tour operator are you using? Like you are going to Dubai, you have to use DMC. But in Ghana, if you can just buy your ticket, get your airline, fly into the country, do whatever you like, and then you go out of this country. We need to safeguard the people and safeguard our entry point and make sure our visas, even though it should be easier to get, it shouldn't be too easy to get it and just come in and do whatever you want and then go back.
Right. Thank you very much for saying it. I know that you're very busy. Grateful.
Thank you to talk. Thank you. It's a privilege to be with you this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was Mr. Fuseni Nawaru. He is the CEO of Hausa Tours and also connecting with us online and sharing his thoughts on this matter. Now, Fuseni mentioned something that is very, of course, in the studio with us is Mr. Guba, and he and I are still into this conversation. Fuseni said something that was very interesting. And I need to ask you also, don't you think as a security expert that this guy that has come in, and of course we know that Ghana promotes historical and cultural tourism. That's one of the things we do here with over 40 forts and castles dotted along the coastal belt of Ghana. That's exactly what we do so much here. Now, when it comes to sex tourism, Ghana is not huge on that. We talk about Gambia, the gigolo men and all of that. But don't you think to some extent this would make the Ghanaian tourism brand look a certain way, that now tourists, especially Europeans who are coming in, will come in with this light that, oh, okay, one of our own came in and he had it so easy, we can also walk in and do this. And what security measures can be put in place that this does not repeat itself again, as somebody who works with the Ghana Police Service and all of that?
Yeah, so I think that it all boils down to the fact that influencers or individuals who come to do some of these things, either positively or negatively, leave a certain imprint of the activity onto the international community. So, example, like you mentioned, ISO Speed came and then share butter price or demand shoot up. In the same way, I mean, if something negative happens, people would want to leverage on that and exploit what we have, anything good we may have. So I was following a session on X, and when this whole incident came, people started asking questions on smart glasses. And over the years, I've not really seen a lot of conversation on smart glasses. And then I went to Gigi. I realized that the demand for smart glasses were high. People were asking of Meta Ray-Bans, and in fact, I've heard of it, but I really never took attention of some of these things. And then I realized people were asking of it, people were trying to purchase it. So it means that people now know that there's a vulnerability they can exploit. Yeah. And so they are trying to use that same tangent as the man, the Russian guy did. And that is where I always say law enforcement and the ministries in charge of some of these things would have to be very very smart about some of these things in terms of identifying perpetrators and bringing them to book.
Yeah.
Mr.
Fuseni.
Mr. Fuseni spoke about they do background check. But my question is, how do you do the background check? You know, because if you want to say you want to do background check with or engage the people that the data sits on them. The Ghana Police Service has criminal records.
But they may not have criminal records of foreigners that are coming.
That is fine. But we have the Cyber Security Authority. We have agencies that monitor the social media space to do checks on individuals. That may even have connections to embassies who has representatives. So now we know that when the issue of Abu Trika came, we know that we have the FBI in Ghana, right? And so if you suspect that somebody has a fishy behavior, when you reach out to the Ghana Police Service, they are able to reach out to the FBI to also do some kind of digging. So I always say that let's start the engagement from engaging people, individuals who can actually do the background check for us. You cannot just go to the person's social media and just scan through what the person does and say background check. For all you know, in the case of this Russian man, he actually posted the videos when he left the country.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, even when, let's say, we wanted to even trail him before the accounts were set up, we couldn't have actually gotten in.
But has Ghana Police, for example, found a way of getting in touch with this gentleman to see? Because we saw on social media that I think I read somewhere that the Russia and Ghana don't have any extradition policy to be able to throw the guy to us or something like that, you know. What has Ghana Police done about this matter?
I'm not in the capacity to speak for Ghana Police Service, but from public information from what the Minister of Information and Digitalization said, he was like, they've made efforts to get in touch with Russia, and Russia is saying they don't have any treaty of such with Ghana. So we have something we call mutual legal assistance. So it's more like a law that countries sign to disclose information, and as part they are also able to, let's say, if the criminal is in Ghana and the criminal is an American, they're able to extradite the person to the US. Now Russia is saying they can't do that. So the best thing is that is happening right now is the fact that law enforcement is actually waiting on the guy to go to any of the Interpol member countries. Once he moves out of Russia, then we can pick him up.
So Ghana Police can arrest him. Let's say he moves to Togo, and Ghana has a proper arrangement with Togo.
Yes.
We can arrest him in Togo and bring him to Ghana and try him and jail him in Ghana.
Exactly.
And Russia will be okay with that.
I should think so. I mean, it would have been easier if he was in Ghana. If he was in Ghana, that would have been.
Okay. Now I have a question from John. John said that you ask Mr. Guba, how important is staff training, like front desk, drivers, tour guides, in preventing such incidents, and what should the training include?
So I say that cybercrime or this type of incident, when it happens to someone, it doesn't respect the fact that you are a staff or a front desk person and all that.
But I understand his question because he's saying that, like, usually I'm a front desk person. So let me tell you an incident. I was at Coconut Grove Beach Resort, and I was checking after filling the forms and everything and signing. This gentleman walked in, and the front desk person asked the guys look like this yo-yo, guys. So the lady, I could tell from her face, she was a bit alarmed. So I was like, do you have a booking here? Then the guy said, yeah, I have a booking here. So he said, what's under what name? So she checked. And when she checked, she asked the guy, okay, can I have your ID card, at least your passport? If you don't have a passport. Then the guy said, but when I made the call to do the booking, you should have at least told me when I'm coming, I should come with an ID. He said, but nobody will check you into the hotel room. At least your Ghana card or something. And the girl insisted. So I think they're going to share the room. The other person uses Ghana card to get them checked in. And I like how she insisted. So I understand John's question that what basic training do front office people need to have, for example? You are a cybersecurity expert.
Yes.
To be able to help.
So I think that this goes beyond just training the person on do's and don'ts of the organization and what to do as a front desk person and all that. We all know that people are groomed differently. And so even when you train me to be a front desk person, I have ideologies I come with, right? One would be, let's say, the pay is no good.
Yeah.
And already coming sometime in the past, I was having an intention to travel to the US. And so I see a foreigner come in. Although I've been trained to do the right thing, my ideas and ideologies before I came to the job
I want to travel abroad.
Yes, would influence certain ways I would treat customers. Because for as long as we know, customers are not always treated the same way. Yes. So I think that we need to start the education even before we let people we pick people on the job. It has to be a kind of training that changes the mindset of individuals on the job, rather than
so you're thinking that mindset change is one of the big trainings people should have.
Yes.
Okay.
That is what will help us, because at the end of the day, people have what they brought from their homes, their own upbringing and all that. They will bring it onto the job, and so you see some kind of traits in that. If you check most of the video, you realize that the conversation people start having is, why do some of the ladies just follow them and then the Russia guy and then that was it? And realize that in most instances it was effortless. He didn't have to do anything.
Just follow me.
Yes.
Or let's go. So he said something. Let's go. So follow me.
Yes. Follow and
they just follow him. I'll show you somewhere. I'll show you something.
And that is it. So I think that these individuals already in their mind has certain way they want their life to go on. So unfortunately, they became victims of some of these things. And that is where parents and teachers and civil organizations should come in when it comes to some of these education and
let's talk about reputation management. Now, viral content could be good or bad, but when they are bad, you know that they spread so fast because bad news spread faster than good news, right? How can destinations like Ghana manage their reputational risk, especially when there's a negative news that is out there on social media? From a cybersecurity perspective, what can we do to be able to salvage our reputation?
I think that we first have to look at the regulators regulating this space. I know in other countries, they don't accept certain content. I mean, the government actually has policies. So we know that in China, they don't typically use, I'm not sure whether it's China or Korea, they don't use WhatsApp.
No, it's China.
It's China, yes.
I've been there. No Google, no WhatsApp. They have their own things set up.
Yes, although they restrict individual rights, they are able to control certain narrative. There's a good aspect of it, and there's also the negative aspect of it. So I think the regulators should work with these online service providers like TikTok, Instagram, and what have you, because
to be able to take down some of
these videos.
But do we have the infrastructure to be able to, like these videos that were going around? Does Ghana have the infrastructure from the cybersecurity perspective to just take down all these videos or make sure that they shut these things from going out?
I think Ghana has good relations with the service providers, and I wish we had the cybersecurity authority to speak to this. But from what I know, there are good relations with Meta, with TikTok, and the rest. And so whenever there are incidents of such nature, they're able to make requests, although the speed to which these takedowns happens is not as we want. But at the end of the day, people have them on their phones. So will you track all of these? You can't. I mean, viral content.
But I think that what the government also did was nice by saying that people should not spread it.
Yes,
It's unlawful.
yes.
You can be arrested. I think when people hear you can be arrested, they are very careful about where they put it.
I think also people don't know that spreading of intimate images and videos is a crime. Then that is what they should know. Yeah, not just images. If it is an identifiable voice, let's say I have your nudity and there's a sound there that you can recognize that it's yours, or you even show it to another person, that in itself is a crime. It's criminal against the Cybersecurity Act. So we have to know that.
So do you recommend any formal incident response plans for small businesses, and what key elements must be included? This is a question someone has just sent to me to ask. It says, do you recommend formal incident response plan for small businesses? So for example, if there's an incident, where should we go to? If you let's say that somebody comes to your hotel and you realize that this guy is not correct. This guy has some threats, or where do you go to? I know that largely it's Ghana police, but is there something that these guys can come in and the person who reported will not feel like,
Yes.
I
think it will still boils down to Ghana police, but I always say that citizens need to have very cordial relationship with the Ghana Police Service. It's not just about reporting. You should know and work with the Ghana Police Service such that once you make, let's say we are in Medina and we own a business, the fact that there is a Medina police station doesn't mean, okay, I can just walk in and report. Have that relationship with the police. Do you know the regional commander? Do you know the station officer? Somebody you can talk to. Some of these things, it needs swift response. And once you have that relationship with the police, it helps a lot in terms of acting swiftly and then getting your issues resolved. And I think that companies should also learn some of these things. Cybersecurity, online safety, in fact, security in general. People don't have incident response plan. That's something that foreigners are good at. They try to do simulation on, okay, if a bad person happens, what do we do? They try to simulate that so that in an instant it happens. It's not that you know what to do. It's not that now you are going to do your research or who do I call? Who do I do this? Once we have a proper incident plan, it helps and it saves time. People don't want to invest in security. They think, okay, like we mentioned, once it hasn't happened to me, I don't care. You need to be prepared so that when it happens, you know how to salvage it. Yeah.
Well, you're listening to Z101.9 FM. My name is Dr. Niai Solomon, and this is Roots and Route on Z. The conversation today has been on tourism, safety, and security. And we've been discussing this issue with a backdrop of maybe a couple of weeks ago. We had a tourist who came to Ghana and recorded a lot of inappropriate videos, and this is what we're using as a backdrop. On the show too, we've had the opportunity of speaking to the CEO of Auza Tours, Fuseni Nawaru, who also shared some perspective with us all too soon. Our time is almost getting close, getting to the end. But I want to ask you, Mr. Guba, a few questions. Well, these could be some fun facts questions. Wi-Fi in a hotel. If they ask you to use it freely, would you yes or no?
So everything free comes with a price. Yeah. So one of the things you need to understand is that we have something we call a man-in-the-middle attack. If it's free,
what's the catch?
The bad actor can actually sit in between you and the service and then be seeing whatever is going on. So if you must use free Wi-Fi, make sure you use what we call a VPN, which is a virtual private network. So what it does is that it scrambles everything you do. So if you are going to Facebook and you are logging in, it scrambles everything. So everything becomes gibberish to the hacker. And it's always best to avoid it and try not to.
How do you set up a VPN on your thing?
So VPN, they are proprietary tools, software. So you buy them and then you use, on your mobile phone. Then
and let's also say that, fine, if you're using the public Wi-Fi, use them for non-important things, so that don't go and check your bank details using a public Wi-Fi, because I'm told your account can be wiped off.
Yes. So like I stated, if the bad actor is seated in between, sees whatever. The best is to avoid free Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi. If you can.
But we like it. Once you go into a space, especially when you travel.
Yes.
When you travel, like
airports,
it's like in the airports, you're looking for Wi-Fi to do something.
Yes.
You know. So okay. Now let me ask you my second question. Best safety superpower for a traveler: common sense or tech tools?
I would say.
Or should I go over again?
No, I get it. I would say 80% common sense, 30% tech tools.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But the reason is that, I mean, if it's too good to be true,
avoid it.
Avoid it.
Avoid it. And then one word to describe Ghana's hospitality when it comes to safety. One word.
Okay.
It means that there's still a lot to be done. There's still a lot.
There's a lot to be done.
We've come to the end of the show, but final words from you. If you have anything to say, somebody you want to, send some good wishes to or anything like that, feel free.
Yes, I think I'll send some good wishes to the Director General of the Criminal Investigation Department, COP, Madame Lydia Yako-Donko, for the amazing work she's doing. And then to my immediate boss, Superintendent Emmanuel JB, and the entire cybercrime unit staff and detective, and also to my family, Kakra, Penny, and to my loved ones.
Okay, to the loved ones. Thank you very much, Mr. Guba, for sharing this afternoon with us. It's been a very engaging, interactive conversation. My name has been Dr. Niai Solomon, and the show is Z1. The show is Root and Route on Z101.9 FM. Well, if you were listening to us on the show, also we had Mr. Fuseni Nawaru, who is the CEO of Awuza Tours, who also joined us to share some perspective about whether the brand Ghana is being dented by the issue that happened a couple of weeks ago. Next week, same time, same place, we'll do this again. This show has been produced by Garrix, and wherever you are, spend a good quality time with your family. Eat well, drink water, eat Ghana, feel Ghana, do everything Ghana. And if you have never traveled to any destination in Ghana before, do well to visit some place. See you same time, same place next week, and we'll have a wonderful time.